Let's dive into a story that really challenges our entire definition of what national power is. It's a story that forces us to reimagine what an arsenal can be and what it's truly capable of.
When we talk about global power, our minds almost always jump to the usual suspects, right? Missiles, tanks, the staggering size of a defense budget. It's the conventional, very loud way we measure a nation's strength. But there is a radical alternative: Japan's arsenal, made of high-speed rail and hyper-connected cities.
And this is the core idea. Japan built an entirely different kind of weapon. It was one designed specifically for movement, not for destruction. It's an arsenal that doesn't fire bullets. It moves millions. Its true power isn't in what it can tear apart, but in what it can pull together.
Just think about that contrast for a second. Traditional warfare is loud, it's chaotic, it's completely disruptive. This form of power, though, is the absolute opposite. It is quiet, it is incredibly precise. It works with this almost invisible efficiency that just fundamentally reshapes a society every single day. So how in the world did this all start? Well, this massive network was no accident. It was the direct result of a deliberate, historic choice. A blueprint drafted back in 1964 that was meant to be a kind of contract for a whole new nation.
Emerging from the ruins of 1945, Japan started to rebuild. But the real turning point, the pivotal moment, came in 1964. While the whole world was watching the Tokyo Olympics, this big symbol of Japan's return to the world stage, the real revolution was happening on the rails, the launch of the very first Shinkansen, the bullet train. That one event set the nation on a new track, one that led directly to it becoming the economic powerhouse we see today.
And here's the crucial thing to understand. This was never just about building a faster train. It was a fundamental social and economic contract. It was an entire nation making a strategic pivot away from rebuilding military might and instead going all in on creating wealth and influence through these huge, unifying infrastructure projects. It was basically a promise for a totally different future. And this new arsenal? It had one very clear, very specific objective. It wasn't designed to project force in the military sense at all, but to become the actual engine of the national economy.
This right here is the absolute heart of the strategy. Every single decision, every yen spent, every piece of steel that was laid, it was all guided by this simple but incredibly powerful idea. The entire nation's effort was channeled into a blueprint for prosperity. It was not built for war, it was built for wealth.
And this shows you exactly how that blueprint worked. Okay, so step one, you use this incredible infrastructure to connect a nation of millions, which effectively shrinks the country and makes collaboration completely seamless. Step two, with people, ideas, and goods all moving at speeds that were once unimaginable, you accelerate the entire flow of commerce. And finally, step three, this kind of hyper-efficiency forges a brand new national economic identity, one defined by precision, by punctuality, and by relentless progress. So after all these decades, what is the lasting impact? What does this story really tell us about power and about the incredible legacy of choosing to build?
This leads us to a really bold claim that this quiet, efficient network of steel and electricity actually, and quietly, outperforms any military on Earth. Now, the argument is that its influence is generative. It's permanent. It builds value every single second of every day. Whereas the impact of a military campaign, well, that's finite, and it's fundamentally destructive.
And that brings us to the ultimate lesson here. The story of Japan's infrastructure arsenal forces us to completely reconsider what we think of as power. It suggests that real, lasting strength in our modern world, it isn't just about the ability to destroy. It's about the ability to build, the ability to create, to connect, and to empower.
And so we're left with this question. When you look at the world today, with all of its complexities, all of its competitions, what truly defines a superpower? Is it the force a nation can project, or is it the future it can build for its own people? The answer might be a lot quieter and a whole lot faster than we ever imagined.